How do you do, GPot crew? It's your Nutty Buddy Putty here, and welcome to the GPot Vault. For those not aware what this is something new I'm starting whenever I don't upload things. I might add some other stuff that's not part of the podcast, Putty's Podcast Pals. But yesterday I posted our first episode of Bad Locked. If you haven't checked it out, head on back. It's under Podcast Pals. It'll be on the playlist there. That'll be at the end of this video as well. But basically it's my way of saying, hey, I messed up. I hadn't gotten things done. And so when I do have the time to actually work on them, I will put them out there. So yesterday I put out the Battle Locked episode, which is our game show that I invented that unfortunately didn't get out there because of time constraints, and I wanted to make it really special. This one, on the other hand, and then by the way, that video was uploaded back in May. Sorry, April actually. I think I actually said May in there, but April 2022. Well, no, actually, I did say April, and it was right before I went on my weight loss journey, and so I never got it done because I was focusing on the gym and everything else. This next one is actually back in November of 2023, November 11th, and it was only because I just, again, time constraints. It was right near Christmas. I could have got it done during Thanksgiving, but just life got ahead of me and got crazy. And that's why it's hard for me to dedicate stuff because of time constraints. So this is the state of the MCU part two. So I will link and end this video the state of the MCU part one. This was part two. Now remember, this was on November 11th, 2023. So anything else that came out after November 11th that was leaked as far as like Deadpool or any of the MCU stuff that's happening and why they're changing it. Like, for example, I think at this point we didn't even think Deadpool was going to be the only movie released in 2024. So we might have had different misconceptions and things. Are I don't remember. I actually haven't watched the video, and that's the other thing. This is going to be uncut. If there's some point I say, hey, I'll delete that out. Not going to happen. This is all uncut. That's why I'm doing these intros. That's why it's called the GPot Vault. These are basically just videos that I did not want to edit because I don't have the time. But why let them sit there when I can let you guys enjoy that? And it gives you guys more content and of the past. Also, another great thing is if you look at my video, the Battle Locked episode, you can see how much weight I've lost. And you might even be able to see a little bit in this one, but not as much because once holidays came around, I kind of just stayed stagnant and didn't lose as much weight, but that's okay. Battle Lock shows how much weight I'm much more rounded, and things have changed. 100 pounds really does show. But with that being said, that this is going to be the Battle Locked episode, and then I also have some other the Battle Locked episode. But this is going to be the State of the MCU or State of Marvel episode that I never released back in November. Also, I do have other footage I might put together, but these were back when I was doing the other channel name, which I will not name no more. So if I do decide to put those out there, they will probably go on the other channel. So if there's something that I did way before the channel name changed and you want to see that, that'll probably go on my other channel. It's the GPot channel, but just under a different name. But that's because I was under that different name, and boy, do I have some content from there. So, but with that being said, guys, I went too much into this intro. Here is my State of the MCU Part Two with Johnny Donuts 777 and John Campo from RLG Cast. I hope you guys enjoy. Peace. How do you do, GPot crew? It's your Nutty Buddy Putty here, and today we are doing the State of the MCU. I guess two, because we did one before, and we're doing it again. We kind of do these in between, especially when movies, shows, kind of like that drop and everything. I have both here to my left, Johnny Donuts over here. Say what's up, how you doing? There he is. And then down below us is Campo Reviews. Actually, Campo is going to have both the Loki review as well as the Marvel's review on his end, so I'll be linking to those, and I have my reviews as well. So go check those out and anything we talk about over there. I think we go way more in depth on his end, and don't go check his out. Mine are just kind of me fanboying as always during any Marvel situation. But today is going to be kind of that same scenario. This is the State of the MCU. So first and foremost, these are going to be spoilers for both Marvels and for Loki and anything in MCU that's happened so far. So if you have not, are you not at this point, this is where you want to stop the video, come back after you watch this, and get our thoughts on things. So I'm going to be going into a lot of things where it's going to be connected tissue, things of that nature. But before we get into connective tissue, I want to set this point of getting more opinions based on how MCU is right now, even though we know it's gotten some bad moments and everything. But we know how everything works. There's phases and there's sagas, and we know right now we're in the multiverse of saga. It's plain as day. If you can't tell, then you've not been watching the movies, and you probably shouldn't be watching this video either. So, in your own opinion, as far as the multiverse of saga, how are you guys feeling? Are you worried, or is it like where do you guys feel in that point? Does anybody want to jump in that as far as that?
Okay, so the multiverse saga has been spanning since 2021. And the only movies really referencing the multiverse have been Doctor Strange, and I believe it was No Way Home, are the only two that have referenced maybe Quantumania in terms of movies.
Yes. Now again, we are going to be talking about TV shows here, and the only show I would say that might have a hint of multiverse. Well, I mean, two. I mean, I guess if you look at WandaVision, but I mean, WandaVision. Does that fit in the multiverse saga now? Or
No, because she created her own reality. That's a different reality.
Okay, so
I wouldn't because it's still in the same 616 universe.
Hello, Campbell, just chugging out there. My thing is this: we're definitely in there. We're getting hints on things, like for example, the Marvels with the whole alternate reality, and then Loki is more of the story-driven timeline thing. And then Quantumania is the subterranean small quantum realm world. But the thing is what was it? What did they call it in Doctor Strange at the end? There's what do you call it? She said at the end when she ripped open the thing. They've made I can't think of the word right now, and I had it in my head before I started this. But the thing that's basically making different spots of different broken realities and different worlds, I guess you can call
TARDIS?
it. No, not yeah. Well, yeah. If you're talking Doctor Who, and
new season this November.
Yeah, right. But
Sponsor.
On Disney Plus.
Is it actually on Disney Plus? I had no idea.
In Canada, it is.
Oh, there you go. But the thing is, and this is something I was going to bring up before, but I guess I'll just throw it in there and everything. And this is where I was wanting to actually talk about this. I feel like Feige has gotten to that point now where he's like, we've screwed things up. This is literally what my man Deadpool said in Deadpool 1. Are we in the McAvoy or are we in the Stewart thing? You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what is happening here is he doesn't know where to go. Well, he just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know.
Finkel is Einhorn.
Einhorn is Finkel.
So maybe McAvoy is Stewart.
Maybe Stewart is McAvoy.
Oh, now we're going deeper into some lore here. But that's my thing. I think, and tell me this, I'll throw it out there because I feel like this is where the conversation is going to go really deep into it and why I really wanted to do this. Because the line breaks, these storylines are broken so much, I feel like Feige is starting to write on that whole idea that what happened over, because the thing is, everyone said, based on what I'm hearing online, Days of Future Past is going to be where they're going to continue the storyline from the Fox universe over on our end. And what the reason they're doing that is because they want to wipe what happened with Phoenix and with Apocalypse because they were just such a bad show. And they want to go with that core audience because you think in Days of Future Past, we end with the core first X-Men from the first movie, the ones that everyone loved. So bringing those over into the MCU lets them also bring the whole idea of splintered worlds because Days of Future Past tried to fix that, and that made things broken. So you can start, and see the thing is, that's the word I can't think of, but they used it in Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness when he met up with what's her name at the end, and she said there's a dent in the system, and I can't think of the name of the word that she said. I might have to go look it up, but I feel like each one of these are that fragment that she's talking about. No, it wasn't a glitch. It was another word that she used.
Matrix.
That's again, I'm gonna have to look it up. But you guys know where I'm going with this. I'm trying to explain.
I understand where you're going with this, but I still think he is, like I said in the other video, Feige's in panic mode right now.
Yeah, you guys tell me when it's my turn.
Well, you can talk anytime. I've been waiting.
Oh no, JD's saying something.
Well, I'm saying, okay, let me finish this, and then you can go. I think Feige's in panic mode. And are we still going full spoilers so I can say?
Yeah, everything.
So because Feige's going into panic mode, I think he did this in hopes that this would bring some of the fans that are hoping for this back. But the payoff for this, I don't think we're going to see for another 4 to 5 years.
Really? You think it's going to be that far off?
Yeah, I do. And also you're lagging.
Who are we losing?
You're lagging.
Yeah, JD.
Yeah.
Anyways, here I'm opening the floor for myself.
I think 4 to 5 years because of the fact.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are kind of losing JD.
Okay, no, hold on. Oh, you said 4 to 5 years based on the, and now finish your thought.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll fix it. No, I what I was saying is that 4 to 5 years because Kang Dynasty is not coming out till 2026. If I'm still here.
Okay, yeah, stay. We hear you. Yeah. well, I'm trying to think of the word. I'm still trying to. No, wait to hear you. We hear you. You're good. We got you.
We got you. Okay, but listen, I'm going to talk now, and everyone shut up. Two things. Number one, Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix are probably both better than the Marvels, so watch your mouth. Number two, what's happening right now? You thought I froze right there, but I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
What's happened right now, and I'm going to use a turn of phrase that I've coined myself. I would like to slap it on a few t-shirts. It's called snidering. Okay? It's snidering, where what's happened, I don't know if anyone's noticed this lately, Kevin Feige has done a lot more interviews than he ever normally does. And all he keeps doing in all the interviews is correcting issues, not by correcting the issues, by telling you what he thinks is the correct way so that you now feel like he's fixed the issues, which is pandering. He is pandering to fans. He's saying, well, the reason this happened and the reason this happened is because this happened to let you know now, and then they don't have to fix it in the movies. After the fact. He did not come up with these ideas. He read them on the internet and was like, oh, yes, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, right.
Shut up. You're an idiot. Nobody cares anymore. I'm personally at the point now where I kind of want Kevin Feige out.
Ooh, really?
Like you know how DC went like full reboot? Like I'm talking like Dave Filoni time in Marvel. Because I just don't get it. He's not correcting any of the issues. He's just saying that he corrected the issues.
Okay.
Oh, well, you guys like Robin? Guess what? Robin's in the next movie. Don't worry. But I can't make that movie anymore because they won't let me. So I'm gonna tell you that he's there, but he's not there. Like, shut up. Yeah. Nobody cares. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just so tired of it. Stop pandering to the fans. Make good movies. Why is Loki so good and nothing else is good?
Well, okay, so this is why I was trying to think who was Charlize Theron that played the actress at the end of that movie, and and she says something that's part of what Reed Richards says with his son, but I can't remember the term they use. Not catalyst, I can't remember the word. You know what I'm going with? No, it's not. It's a word that they use. They said it's a fragment or something that has to do with breaking reality.
Okay, who cares about the word? What's the point?
Well, the reason I'm saying that is I think what he's doing is he's finally saying, listen, we screwed stuff up. Every one of these things, including the Fox universe fragments of breaking, are all part of one connected tissue to where everything's going to implode, the secret war's going to happen, and then everything's going to reset. JD actually said himself, he said, I think what's going to happen after Secret Wars is everything's going to get reset. I hate saying this. I think this is going to be the last Ryan Reynolds Deadpool movie. I think what's going to happen is going to get Deadpool 3. It's going to be the fragment that fragments the Fox into the MCU world. And then what's going to happen is we are going to get Fox Universe Marvel in Secret Wars. Incursion. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
I just watched the post-credit scene. Thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. What's happening is all these things, and now he knows he's messed up. So every one of these are incursions. The only reason why Loki's is so special and the reason why it's so self-contained is because they want everything else to break. They're like, we want this gone. We want these incursions destroyed, but they self-contained Loki to where they're like, we can still bring him back, but he could still have a little part of the multiverse. We can always bring him in. He could be the guy that actually can even potentially save this if they wanted to. Or if they're not saving it, at least be something we can continue as a storyline with the new saga. Because here's my thing. I love my Fox universe. You guys know this. I don't think it's as good as the MCU's done. And there's some good movies. I love my Deadpool. Logan is an amazing movie. But the thing is they have incursions on their end, basically, with the messed up timelines. Now we have messed up timelines with
Days of Future Past was an incursion event.
Exactly. And so now, because we now have the incursion term used with Multiverse of Madness, literally multiverse. this is the setup for all these things being incursions. So when everything implodes on itself, we have one huge, we have one epic battle, which would be Secret Wars, where we finally get to see MCU characters. They can even bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man for one last time, but it's an alternate variant because they already have the variant story.
Bring anyone back.
But no, listen, I'm saying they might do that because it's Kevin Feige. I'm just saying that's my
they
point.
Will.
Okay.
Have you not seen that he specifically said now that they are going to bring back all of the original?
But hear me out, okay? I will admit, as a fanboy, if he does it
even
right,
Hawkeye if he can walk.
Anyway, but my point to the whole thing is this. I think that's what he's doing. I think he's making everything incursion so we can have that big epic battle. And then also that gives Fox a grateful ending of like, okay, you ended everything properly. And they even said that would also not mess up Logan because it'd be right after, because Logan happened all the other stuff. It's another timeline. So you don't have to feel like you broke that timeline. And then what happens is once you implode everything, then it's basically where he's like, now we can reset. We now own everything. So now let's go back to the first family. And you got that right, JD. I think they're going to go Fantastic Four. You're right. They're going to find the mutant gene. And what's going to happen is they're going to reset everything and we're going to get all the mutants. I think Deadpool is going to be the introduction of Fox into the MCU. We'll get one last Fox hurrah with the MCU. And then all of a sudden after Secret Wars, it's going to be another snap. But this snap means it's done.
But what Fox hurrah? There's no Fox. There's no mutants. There's nothing planned until late 2027.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that now he's kind of like, we fucked things up and they're going to change things. I think they're going.
Well, they did. You heard the new release schedule, right?
No, when
there's a new release schedule. So there's a new release schedule. The only
hold on.
movie.
Since we're already here, I'll talk about something while he looks things up. You look things up.
I already have it ready.
Falcon Punch, and the Winter Soldier.
One Punch Man
has been pushed back. Okay, it is going through 6 months of reshoots that will see it be reshot for almost 70% of the movie because test screenings were so bad, people started walking out.
Ooh.
Yep.
And see, that's right. Here's the thing. Here's
what's it called? Captain America what?
Brave New. It was Brave called New World Order, but
NWO?
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, Hulk Hogan tried to sue.
Of course.
Here's my thing. I'm hoping because my love for Deadpool. I don't mind if they have to stop it here as long as they do it right and they end him properly and him using him as an introduction to the Fox world in there. But that's the only thing I can think of was the incursions. It felt like it's the only thing that makes sense now and also makes it to where the Fox universe becomes part of the MCU. And now you could collectively say, okay, now these are all part of the story, even though they were never planned. Which, of course, Feige can say, well, I was there for the first X-Men. So, I planned it all along.
Okay, JD, tell us the schedule.
So the new release schedule is thus. July 2026. Is the only MCU movie coming out in 2024, and that's Deadpool.
Okay.
So that's the only movie we're getting next year. We are not getting another Marvel movie until February 14th, 2025, and that's Captain America.
Okay.
And then 2025 in May is when Phase 6 starts, and that's the Fantastic Four. Then Thunderbolts in July, and then Blade in 2025, and then in November 2025, and then the Kang Dynasty in May 2026, and Secret Wars in May 2027.
So even what you're saying is the Fantastic Four still is not going to start off a whole new storyline.
No, this is going to be part of the Kang storyline.
Now, I was actually with you on that, JD. I felt like what you said was a good, solid idea, but now I'm kind of confused.
They can introduce it but it's still 2 years away from Secret Wars because Secret Wars now is 3 years away. 3 years. Fantastic Four, they haven't even cast yet.
Do you know in 3 years, JD will be 60?
Close to it. In 3 years, no, legit. I will be 50 in 3 years.
Jeez. So in 3 years, I'm going to be 47. Wow. Well, 3 years, because I was 44 in January. So yeah, around 47. So that's weird. Yeah. Okay. So then, I mean, I'm going to have Deadpool next year, and I have something to look forward to, at least for myself and everything. And I mean, I'm sure everyone else is still excited about it as long as they do it right. You know what I mean? And they do it justice. how it's going to fit, again, I don't know. But at the same time, for example, we have Echo coming out as well. And
Echo is the only show scheduled for 2024 right now.
they really are pushing things back just to slow things down, aren't they? I mean, is
Echo
this good?
is the only.
Yeah, Daredevil and Punisher is 2026 or 2025.
No, they even took the dates away.
Did they?
Yep. Same thing with Ironheart. Ironheart's in limbo. Armor Wars is in limbo.
Well, this goes back to the Kate Bishop scene. Then, but she says she's 23. How are they? How are they going to be? They're not going to be Young Avengers by that time. Like, how is it? It's such.
They're looking for Vision Quest early 2027.
So, am I just saying that the incursion thing is an idea and it's a good idea and it's not going to happen, or like, because like, what is going on?
I'm saying you kind of latch yourself onto a comment made in a movie 2 years ago.
Well, no, but I mean, you got to think that's a good plan because think of all the broken things they've done so far. We have.
I know, but you're not. This is the thing. You're not telling us something that Kevin Feige said. You're telling us something a character said in a movie 2 years ago when Kevin Feige has gone through a lot of trouble in the last 2 months, retconning everything that happened verbally.
Yeah,
firing all the writers on Born Again. Right, firing all getting a new script for Blade.
The third completed script for Blade.
Now, is Blade going to be rated R? Like, that's the other thing.
Yes, they said it the other day. It will be rated R.
And that's going to splinter. That's going to splinter into the Dark Universe.
Which is actually going to be what I was thinking it was going to be, the Marvel Knights. Is that?
I don't know if it's the Marvel Knights, but I know it's the Dark Universe.
Okay, which I'm okay with that. But I mean, that's what I'm wondering though. Is it just rated R universe or just the Dark Universe, as in AKA
spiritual, Ghost Rider?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then that was. I mean, I guess Deadpool could be still part of that because he was.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think they might keep Deadpool.
See, that's where they probably will do it.
Sex sells.
He does. I mean, then maybe he's not going to be deleted. I mean, I'd be happy about it as long as they do it right. Because here's my thing.
Maybe he's not going to be deleted.
Well, no, I mean, that's one thing. Me and JD were
he's
talking
not woke enough. They're going to cancel.
Yeah, exactly. My point to the thing is, like,
Loki's going to prune him.
I was afraid of them PGing him, but if they are making Blade rated R, then they probably will keep this rated R then, because that was my major thing, was they're going to go PG or they're just going to
what's his name, Mahershala Ali. He wants it to be rated R, but Feige did not want it rated R originally.
Yeah, so but what they said recently that Blade and Punisher will be rated R.
Good.
Then or else Ali was going to walk.
Which they don't want. And I guess maybe that also works.
He's going to be like 60 by the time they start that movie.
It's going to be nuts.
You might as well bring back 80-year-old Wesley Snipes.
Always
so exciting.
I mean, we could always do a Secret Wars and he just doesn't get his taxes paid.
Hey, what if Ryan Reynolds makes an appearance from Blade Trinity?
Oh my God.
I'll take it.
And Triple H.
Bring back Triple H.
But I mean, to redirect and everything, if you guys had the opportunity, and this is, I mean, I guess this is more based on, because I mean, before we get into this, do you have any ideas of what you think that could possibly happen, or is it just so messed up now that there's just no idea?
I'm more in a state. I'm in a state here where I was with DC before the James Gunn situation, where
I don't care.
I don't care anymore. I'm just wait when those things come out, I'll watch them, and if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I don't want to predict. I don't care what's the rumors really. I just read about it and I go, that's cool.
Yeah. And if something good comes along like Loki, then all the better for it. But at this point, I'm the same way. Like I said it last year that I'm superhero fatigue right now. Mm-hmm. Like the family in the Marvels is the same characters that were in Blue Beetle, but Blue Beetle only did it better.
I'd never thought about it, but you're right. You're exactly right. Yeah. What's
his name? Sam Jackson essentially was George Lopez.
Okay, let's chill out. But George Lopez is nobody to nobody. Yeah. George Lopez is like a bootleg Cheech Marine.
Cheech Marine?
Yeah, I said Marine. He's in the military.
Americans don't like to get up early in the morning.
But Blue Beetle is half of what could have been a really good movie.
Yes, same thing with Flash.
Flash had a lot of random sporadic elements of a really good movie. I wouldn't say half of it was a good movie. It's not cohesive in terms of quality.
Well, let's jump in and look at it this way. You guys kind of already know what I want. I would rather just have the whole incursions thing happen. It fixes it puts the Fox universe into the MCU. It fits nicely, and then reset everything with Secret Wars. If you guys had the option based on what you see right now,
I do not reset ever.
You don't want to reset. So you're saying you want to reset. What do you want to do? Like, what would you want to do?
I want to continue the story, and I want you to make good content. I want you to make movies like Loki is as a show. Completely contained events that can have repercussions in the multiverse should they need it.
Kind of like they did in first
back
phase.
To this and say, well, okay.
Yeah, phase 1 was exactly like that. Like phase 1, each movie was its own movie, watched on its own, with like little things that would be like, oh, this could connect. And eventually they did with Avengers. But then after Avengers, especially after Age of Ultron, it just like blew the doors wide open, and he had to make everything connect to a bigger picture.
And then they had the picture planned for a decade. They hit Endgame, and then they didn't know what to do. So it's like you spent like the better part of 3 or 4 years planning to get to Endgame. And now you hit Endgame and you had no plan. So you're rushing in like months to figure out the next 10 years.
That's true. And you think about it then, at that point, before we hit the COVID or the pandemic, it sounded like he was riding on the whole idea of like TV show, and he was banking on Disney Plus and their shows to be a way to launch a new thing.
But I think also he was under pressure from Disney Plus to put more content out there to boost the service.
Probably to boost the service and to make sales, because they figured, well, this is a train that's going well. Let's go ahead and make some money.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, because I enjoy the characters of a lot of it. There was a lot of forced shows to be made based on inclusion by Disney. Like, I don't know if we were ready to force a Moon Knight show yet. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
I like the characters. I like elements of the show, but it was not good because you forced it.
She-Hulk was another one.
Yeah.
She-Hulk was kind of forced, but I mean, I like She-Hulk. Same with Miss Marvel. The first 2 episodes of Miss Marvel, I still will die on the hill that they're probably the worst 2 episodes. The worst 2 things Marvel maybe ever did, is the first 2 episodes of Miss Marvel.
Well, outside of like some of the characters in Miss Marvel, there was like, I just couldn't get into the villains of that story. Like, again, going back to Kamala Khan, she's the one that makes that show so good in my eyes. You know what I mean? But
stop making villain of the week characters and stop killing them all off.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the Marvels, okay, for example. We could do spoilers, right?
Yeah, go on. Okay. Yeah, keep on. No, right. So spoilers in the beginning. If anybody,
in you have that character, they had a conclusion. I will save all of your people. Give me the gauntlet thing. They helped her out, and she still tried to kill them and ended up destroying the entire universe, basically, and killing her own people out of pure stupidity. There was no logical fucking reason for that person to do that.
And
it was just out of spite.
Marvel didn't think it all the way through. To me, I would have been like, I would have had a redemption arc for that character.
And I just dawned on me, and really thinking about it.
They did the same thing to Wanda in Multiverse.
And I'm thinking about this. In my eyes, the 2 best villains they ever put out actually had a lot of growth through several movies. Loki's a prime example. Loki started in the first Thor. We got him as the main villain in the main Avengers movie, and people fell in love with him. Thanos, same thing. We got Thanos hinted in all these movies, Guardians of the Galaxy. Then we had a great Thanos going into Infinity War and
I think there's many peppered out throughout the movies as well. Like, I think Ronan was a really good villain, and he's underappreciated. I think Gore was really good. He was just misplaced in what happened to be a comedy where he didn't fit in.
But this is exactly what I'm just realizing right now. That's the element we're missing. And I'm realizing and putting it together, and Batman's a prime example. Look at the rogue gallery of Batman villains. You like the villains better than the superheroes. That's what makes a good superhero movie.
What was the first thing they did in the Batman? What is the first thing they did? Who did they not kill?
Riddler.
They did not kill the Riddler.
He's in prison.
And Batman upheld his
no-kill
code of no killing.
And see, looking back in the first phase, like even though you got we talk about the first,
Spider-Man kills everybody.
But it's funny when you look at this. The first phase is probably one of the best MCU, but even the Infinity Saga itself is still better than what we have right now in general because we had a villain that was nurtured and brought up to become something special. Right now, we have no villain in this world with that.
I agree.
We have.
They're trying to make Kang that, but nobody
But he's
likes
not-
Kang.
I think I liked him in Loki, the new season.
Yes.
I think that
He was great as Victor Timely.
Yeah.
I honestly think that there was a chance for for an amazing redemption arc story that they screwed up. They should have had Peter do whatever he could to save Quentin Beck and prove that he's this is someone that is worth like the redemption. And then have it go to this whole arc of like him saving him, he doesn't die, and then in the next movie they interact, and then in like the fourth movie he comes back and he's like, no, I want to kill Peter. And then it's like, okay, now you're building this character growth where instead it was just like, no, we're gonna kill him.
Well,
It's
here's
like
a
the only character they didn't kill in the Spider-Man series was Vulture.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you guys a question then. And I don't know, maybe someone can remember, and JD, you might be able to help me better on this than anyone else or anything like that. If you remember,
Than anyone else, I'm the only other one here, you ass.
Well, no, I'm just saying in general, as far as like, because we talked about this in the past. When the pandemic happened, wasn't it supposed to be a situation where a TV series comes out than a movie, and it was supposed to be a better pacing? And wasn't Quantum Mania supposed to come in after Loki or something? And the reason I state that is because they wanted to use a Kang through all these, but I felt like they wanted to start him off slow and then bring him up just like they did with that.
From what I understand, Kang was Loki season 2 was supposed to be 2022, but they delayed it a year.
And then they put Quantumania, which would have been if they did the movie right, and then they put it in the right spot. And I think because they tried to fix it and try to put it before to make sense, which then doesn't make sense because I feel like Kang as a villain would have been better in Quantumania if the movie was shelved out and had more time to go.
I do
and
not
had Loki.
support Jonathan Majors in any way, even if he gets found not guilty. I do not support him because I just like after hearing all the stories, he's just genuinely a bad person. However, I do really like the character of Kang. But also, however, I don't understand, after how many times we've already seen Kang, what the point of this character is. Like, they've literally given us nothing to go on. It's just 3 or 4 random things that he's been in, and in the end of it, every character was so different that it's like, I don't know where you're going. I just genuinely don't know where you're going.
Well, see, that's the problem, and I think this is where
But I think did they retcon Kang in this by having that scene where Victor Timely doesn't get the notebook thrown through the window?
Yes, they retconned He Who Remains.
So does that mean all of the Kangs don't exist?
No, just He Who Remains does not exist anymore.
But see, here's where I'm confused.
Or at least the version that we know in Loki.
And maybe this is where things can get filled in because, okay, when we had the stones, there was a reason why the stones existed when it comes to the Infinity Stones. You know what I mean? He did it because he felt like we're overpopulated. He wanted to take half of the universe. He had an actual reason to be like what seemed like to be a good guy, and he wanted
may
to
not be right, but what he felt was doing.
Now with Loki, we see Kang talking, but with Loki, we have Kang in this whole situation where he wants to control the timeline, have the sacred timeline, which is really actually a good storyline for the whole multiverse thing if you really think about it. But then and I feel like that could have been a part of like the quantum realm would have been one of those fragments. That's why Kang would have gone there in the first place. But then I feel like something happened there because of the pandemic, and that screwed up everything because that's where things are getting really iffy to me because I feel like I see where he was going with it based on Loki. But then now I'm like, but that really makes Quantumania messed up.
But you also got to remember, Thanos wasn't doing the legwork himself. He had other people collecting the stones for him. The only stone he collected himself was the Soul Stone,
which he pulled right out of his head,
and the one he had to kill Gamora for.
But see, that works with the whole variant thing, because Kang could have versions of himself collecting or trying to break one central, you know what I mean? Like saying, okay.
Thanos had a MacGuffin. Kang does not.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Kang's
you're right.
General, like, want is the same kind of thing basically that Thanos wanted. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like we're doubling up. Also, this is my dream, okay? Like realistically. So when Thanos comes down in real life and he snaps and the Roman Reigns just vaporizes, but the belt just falls to the ground.
Wow, that feels like that's leading into something else that we might have to go check out on JD's end of the
Segue! Multiverse.
Multiverse. We made our own multiverse. But
This
I
is
mean,
multiverse and this is timelines.
Timelines.
well, it's splintered. We got to bring the wrestling in there. We got some video games timelines in there, but those are the Fox universe anyway.
By the way,
But-
since we're just talking about this, can we just talk about stuff?
Yeah, go ahead. What's that?
Watch the show Captain Laserhawk.
Yeah.
Oh, I want
like,
to.
No, like,
I
like,
want to.
like for real though.
I saw Rayman from in there, and I was like, I definitely got to
buddy.
check this out.
I'm gonna give you full
Kenny
spoilers
freaking
here.
Omega.
Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and they play Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes. This is spoilers, not
No.
storyline spoilers. Okay.
But that's still spoilers. That would have been
One
so
of the
shocked to see
characters
it.
is from Assassin's Creed. One of the characters is Splinter Cell guy's daughter,
Sam Fisher. Yeah.
Sam Fisher's daughter. One of the monsters are rabbits. There's just like everything has to do with a video game. There's all these cutscenes
Yeah, I saw
where they're
that,
in
yeah.
a fight and it turns into like an 8-bit fighter or a 16-bit what do you call it? Side-scrolling game. Or
By-
it turns
by the
into
way-
the talking scenes will turn into FMV videos from like a Saturn.
By the way, I'm going to go ahead and split. I'm probably going to cut into right before you say that and say, by the way, guys, if you're interested in this show, but you don't want to know
No,
these
that's
characters,
not that's not spoilers for the show. The
I was still gonna
storyline
just put
has
it in there
nothing
no
to
matter
do
what.
with that.
No,
Yeah,
I get it.
Kenny
all
Omega's
established at the
Omega's
beginning.
been in a few video games lately. He was just in Like a Dragon Ishin as well.
Yeah, well, that match is on Wednesday, which should be nice. Depending
Well, this
on
is an
the time.
RLG cast. That's why I had to make sure I throw that in there because it's all
No,
Marvel.
but there's that genuinely is no spoilers. You find out all those characters right at the beginning. I just think to get people to watch it, it's so rooted in video games because don't forget it's based off Far Cry Dragon,
Blood Dragon.
Blood Dragon.
Blood Dragon, yeah.
The weird thing I found though is that Blood Dragon is literally based in Toronto, and in this movie it's not, or in this show it's not.
Well, I guess that kind of anything else you guys want to add when it comes to the state of the MCU before we end this and everything?
They just don't fuck up Deadpool.
Get
Thank
your
God
shit
they
together.
said that. Yes.
Make sure
That's-
it's good because Deadpool has been consistently one of the more watchable series that they've done, and like it would suck right now for them to marvel it.
And be honest with you, my channel is going to be on a week-long Deadpool craziness. We'll probably do videos, the tier list.
It's gonna be
We're doing
month.
stuff.
It's gonna be month long.
Okay, he's right.
He's
I'm
gonna
probably
start it tomorrow.
It's Deadpool month. It's going to be
Start
called
it
the Deadpool month. And I think Deadpool got pushed back to July.
Yes.
If you realize, they got
Deadpool
pushed back to
is
July.
pushed till I think it's my birthday. Deadpool is it's the week after my birthday, July 26th.
Well, we're not
So-
watching that for your birthday.
well, I know that's going to be JD/Deadpool month. So,
We're
make sure
gonna
you guys
rank.
check
We're
it out.
gonna do a JD tier list.
Yeah, exactly. But guys, make sure you go check out Campbell's videos. He did both the Marvel, we did within Marvels and Loki. Since we talked about wrestling, make sure you go check out Crown Jewel review. Oh man, what we said there. Ooh. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. As always, I'm Putty with the GPot crew, and you know what we do. Get mad at Marvel because you fucked up shit too. Don't pick up.
And lick me where I poo, Kevin Feige.
That's a rhyme.
Peace.